let's have a look at the legal side of lockpicking. However, before we start, let me tell you that I am not a lawyer, paralegal, or law-trained person. I am a layman, and I strongly advise to check your state laws regarding lockpicking. First and foremost, lockpicking or owning a lockpicking set, that is, tools required to pick a lock, is not illegal per se. Still, there are certain states in the US in which lockpicking is prohibited. So please inform yourself if the possession of a lockpick is legal in your state. I know that in Europe, lockpicking and owning a lockpicking set is not illegal. You can carry them around publicly without the fear of the law. If we take a look at the UK, for example, things are very different. There, if you get caught being in possession of a lockpick in public, and if you do not have a reasonable excuse, such as being a locksmith or attending a locksmith course, you may be charged with criminal intent. Keep in mind that you learn a skill that can literally open doors for you. So please do not misuse the information provided in this class for illegal activities. If you do use them for illegal causes, I will not be held reliable for your actions. The lockpicking community has two key rules that they live by. Rule number 1, never pick locks that you do not own. This is pretty self-explanatory, but let me clarify a bit. Do not own in this context means if you do not have the permission of the lock's owner to open it. For example, if a friend of yours lends you a lock to practice your lockpicking skills on it, you do have the permission to open it, therefore no illegal act. On the other hand, if you go around and you try to open any lock you see without the permission of the owner, you do commit a crime. So my advice is use some common sense and you will be fine. Rule number 2, do not pick locks upon which you rely. This needs a little bit of explanation because it's not quite as clear as rule number 1. We do know that lockpicking is a non-destructive way of opening locks, and the tools that are used are pretty sturdy. But Murphy's Law tells us that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and a picking tool might break in the picking process. Now imagine if this happens to you when you try out your new skills on your door lock and you jam it. That is bad news, and calling a locksmithing service to open the lock and replace it will be pricey. So, to avoid these scenarios, only pick locks that are practicing utensils and you will be fine. This brings us to the end of this lecture. If you abide by these rules, you do not have to worry about any legal problems. So, check the law, only open locks that you have the permission to do so, and don't pick locks that you rely upon. Okay, great. In the next lecture, we will briefly learn about the history of locks and keys from ancient Egypt to modern-day England. See you there.